So you have 3 children. You have 3.
My heart beats.
Yes.
I do. I have
And I
3.
admire you. I watch you parent, and it's amazing to see you do that, to watch you with your children and to hear the stories.
Thank you.
And that, I was a little bit jealous at first. It's like, because I didn't have that understanding or revelation until later. So I get to do it with my grandchildren.
Yeah.
But I appreciate, your relation. I watch you with them children that you have and how they love and appreciate you in the relationship. You have a phenomenal relationship with your children, and not everybody can say that.
That's true.
Not everybody can say
I
that.
do. I have an amazing relationship with my children, and I am very grateful for the relationship I have with my children. At the same time, I pat myself on the back for the relationship that I have with my children, because I always say, your return will be based on your investment. And I invested into my relationships with my children. You know what I used to say when my children were young? My intention is to be a damn good mommy.
I remember you were going to write a book about that.
That was my exact words. I want to be a damn good mommy. My focus was not on pleasing or impressing you. It was my children. If I was crazy at home, I was crazy out in the public, because I never wanted my children to look at me or look at each other and say, who she is. That's not the person who we live with, right? But I learned so much from my children. I allowed our relationship to be open. I didn't have it hands-on in the beginning, because I brought a lot of what my father did into the beginning of the relationship, and then I had those aha moments. I say an aha moment is when your heart speaks to you. You get a message from your heart, and I was able to make the shift. And I'm so grateful I was able to make the shift, because sometimes I hear some stories that they say, and I'm like, I guess I should be really grateful we have such a good relationship, But one of the things I understood very early is I have 3 children, and they're 3 completely different people.
Yes.
And my relationship with each one of them is completely different. So I have 1 son. My daughters always say, yeah, you're 1 son on the phone. 1 son. And he and I are literally like best friends. Like, he's my kind of confidant since my mom passed. I'll call him and get advice, from him on different things, because he's 27 now. Not everything, because I'm still his mama, right? So, children are connected to that. And then my eldest daughter is so funny, because she called me yesterday. She said, I just need to vent.
Okay.
And when she said that, I just shut up. She needed to vent. She said, Mommy, I really don't need your advice just now. I just need to talk. So when she was finished, I said to her, can I offer you something? She said, yes. So I'm asking for permission now to talk about what you just said. And so we, finished our conversation, and she said to me afterwards, she said, I so appreciate you. Thank you for just letting me vent. Yeah. I said, girl, I got you. She said, you the real MVP. And then my youngest one, she's just recently moved to Chicago in October of last year, and we talk every day. And she made a post on Facebook. She said, I don't know how people don't have a relationship with their mother, because I would not be able to make it one day without mine. And it just...
Wow. Oh, wow.
I love my children
That is so
much.
powerful. That's powerful. And I really do appreciate that about you, and I watch you interact. And I think one of the first things you told me when we first met all those years ago was really how each one of your children are individuals, and they need something different. And you learn that as you go, but really implementing that and giving each child what they need. Sometimes it can be difficult, but it has to be intentional. It has to be intentional, because you get caught up with life and everything else, and then it gets really hard. But I so admire that in you, the way you reared your children. And if I had it to go back and do over again, I'm not saying I want to.
Girl, I'll do.
Nobody's trying to start over. But if I would definitely do it differently. I would definitely parent from a different space. One of the things that I think I learned from you is that children, sometimes as parents, especially of a certain generation, children are to be seen and not heard, and
I'm not your friend.
Exactly. Or this one, I see children who pick up interest early in life, And instead of telling them, leave that alone, don't touch that, you're gonna break that, this is mine, don't touch that, or all of that, it's like they nurture that gift. And it's like, well, come here and let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to play the piano. Let me show you how to use the camera. Absolutely. Instead of, you gonna break it, is the first response. And so I saw that in you.
Wow.
I saw that in you.
You know that saying that says mother's wit?
Yes.
So as mothers, intuition, right? And as mothers, we have that gift of being able to be in tune. Intuition is just being in tune with our children. And I firmly believe that one of our responsibilities is to help align our children with their purpose. And you know, like you said, each child is different, and I learned early that I had to be different with each one. So I had 3. My middle child, she's special, girl. She's special, and then she's special, right? But they say that there's such a thing as a middle child syndrome, and I had to go into this when I had her because, child, she was something else. I was like, Jesus, keep me near the cross, be my glory ever. I had to figure out how to do this with her because she was just so different. So I would spend separate time with her, where she and I would just do things together because I had to foster a relationship with her. We either was gonna fight or we was gonna come together. And you know, a lot of parents say, well, I'm not my child's friend. I hate that. I hate that saying. You know why? Because there's a scripture in the Bible that says a friend sticketh closer than a brother. There's something very special about a friend. But if you decide you're not gonna be friends with your children, you're fostering something. There's going to come a time where you wish that you were friends with them. And I knew that I couldn't be friends with them when I was trying to parent them. Friends, I say that in quote, because I still wanted to be their friend. I wanted to be that person who they looked at as a friend, that person who they felt comfortable to come and have a conversation with. So I fostered that, and I parented my children very, very intentionally with the plan to be their best friend. And I can tell you, because all of my children have said this to me, that I am my children's best friend, each one of them. Our relationships are different. It's like my relationship with you is different than my relationship with Karen or my relationship with Mary, but I have friendship with all of you. I have a friendship, a meaningful friendship with all of my children. But if you are creating that, then you're never going to be friends with your children. So you have to do things very, very intentionally with your kids. And like I said, my intention was to be a damn good mommy. At the end of the day, I wanted my children to know that I was there for them. The respect factor was very important for me too, Lisa, because if you want respect, you have to give respect. And a lot of parents feel like respect is an entitlement. Respect ain't an entitlement. Because if you're not respectable, how do you expect your children to respect you? Respect is earned. It's not an entitlement. But as you teach your children what respect looks like, then you teach them how to respect others. And that's one of the problems that we have in society now. Children are so disrespectful. But you remember that season when all those parents were shaming their children on
social media?
So if you disrespecting them, one, how can you expect other people to respect them? And two, how can you expect them to be respectable? Because your children will do as you do before they do as you say. So as a life coach, my focus is family and relationship coaching. And I teach my parents how to establish soulful connections with their children. Connections. That's the key word. And if I want to connect with you, why don't I want to be your friend?
And then we always say as parents, we want our children to come to us, you know, if anything ever happens, you know, feel like it's a safe place. But if you haven't made it like a friendly environment, like it's going to be okay, it's going to be safe, or I'm going to be judged, or I'm going to be punished, or you're going to look down on me, then that's not, because friends go, okay, I'll tell you about yourself. Yeah. I'm gonna listen. Yeah. And then I'll be in the trenches with you. Exactly.
Then I'll be your friend. I'm in the process of writing a book right now called The Power of Parenting with Purpose. And purpose is an acronym. It's patience, understanding, respect, positivity, openness, spirit, and empathy. And I'm really excited about this book, you know, because I feel like this is going to be such an eye-opener for a lot of people. And so I wrote my own curriculum, my own parent curriculum with Wise Parenting for Soulful Connections. And this book is kind of a spin-off of that, because when I teach this workshop, everybody wants the book. So I'm like putting that book. But when you talk about openness, this is one of the things that I learned when parenting my children. If I want my children to be vulnerable with me, I got to be willing to be vulnerable with them. So I shared with my children when they were very young that I had an abortion when I was 17. But I gave them a choice. I said, now with this information, you have one of two choices. You can either say, Mommy did it, I'm gonna do it too. Or you can say, Mommy did it, she learned from it, she's sharing those mistakes of that knowledge with us. So we're gonna make different choices. At 27, 25, and 21, no pregnancies. I got pregnant, first child at 17, had an abortion, and then my son, I had him when I was 21. So my baby has passed where I was, right? But I was willing to be vulnerable with them and share my mistakes. I always say that our life lessons come packaged in mistakes. I don't believe in mistakes. And how often do we hold mistakes over our children, right? Let those things empower them. Let them see what the lesson is. A lot of people don't understand how to do that. I get that, because you can't give what you don't have. But if you want to do better, you have to do different, right? And so I'm so passionate about what I do in helping people to see different so they can do better.
I search every day.